Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
Hi, this is Ragaz.
Hey, welcome back again to the SciCast. You are now watching episode 29. And today, your lucky topic for this SciCast episode is on societal change through communication. And I'm your host, Dr. J.
I'm Heyman. No Brian again, of course. It seems like that lately. He's been just blowing us off.
He's blaming it on you, though, for picking times that he's not available.
Yeah, okay. I called him, texted him like 3 days ago for this one. How could you not get prepared? He could have said no. He said maybe, definitely.
He maybe think about maybe coming.
See? No. You either do or you don't.
I'm
he has to get his priorities in a row.
Yeah. He needs to get that babysitter lined up.
Well, no, his kids go
to school
at 1, don't they?
Maybe it's because it's the time where he gets alone time. See, you can just relax.
Masturbating. I had to cut that one out. Sorry.
Well, anyway, let's move on to the podcast.
Okay. So social changes through communication. Oh wait, aren't we communicating right now?
We sure are.
Through the internet, through this video. SciCast. Yeah.
Could also be the audio SciCast.
Yeah, we have the audio SciCast in iTunes.
For you guys
which
on
might
the iTunes.
Change to a video one.
Well, can't we do both? Because not everybody can do a video at certain times.
Well, yeah.
Are you saying YouTube or iTunes is allowing you to upload videos now?
No, it's the same way I do with the audio. You don't upload it to iTunes. You upload the feed page to iTunes, and that's what they go by.
Right.
So yeah, they do video too. I just have to clarify it's a video, not a...
So you should get on that.
I was trying to leave it simple for Brian.
Yeah.
Because we know he's simple.
Yeah.
He ain't here, so that's why I'm making fun of him.
Yeah. He might or might not.
Let's see what he says. Oh, he didn't even text me back yet. Okay.
So, we actually weren't even going to originally do this for our podcast. No. We were looking up topics for this week, and we just happened to stumble into a good conversation about... Is that him?
Yes, that's him.
A good conversation about...
he said, that's right, let me leave my kids, I'll be right over.
Oh, I love his sarcasm.
So, yeah, we weren't thinking about this until you mentioned a group.
A group?
Yeah, a group that was participating in...
I was referencing the human race as one superorganism now that the internet has connected everybody on the planet, more or less. You know, there's pockets where people don't get it, of course, but the idea of everybody being able to communicate with anybody at any time very easily is what's bringing us together. And the transmission of ideas and
through media, knowledge, yeah. Now we were talking about the big groups right now, Anonymous and what was the other one?
Occupy Wall Street.
Occupy Wall Street. Well,
basically, just what they're doing is, most of you probably already know, that they're fighting back against the establishment that's basically upon greed and these are all philosophical reasons of greed and corruption.
Greed and basically suppression of
information.
Well, it's not even information. It's suppression of your basic rights, right to free speech, right to a couple other things, because...
Well, it's a right to hear in America.
Well, yes, but the thing is, basically, what it started with was the Americans were trying to start, like Anonymous was trying to start a couple laws to get passed. I'm sure you heard of them.
That was SOPA?
SOPA, the IP Act, or whatever it is.
I can't remember the name of that.
and there was another one that was before this. They revamped it and it became SOPA, and then the American Defense Act or something.
Is it the detainee one? Where
yes.
They can detain you
They
without
detain you with no
court order?
Yeah,
anything?
they can if you're a terrorist, they can take you.
Or you don't have to be. You can be a suspected terrorist. They can
Yes.
just say, hey,
and
you said president.
Basically, they can look at you, and you look at them wrong, and they can detain you.
Yeah.
Plain and simple. All they have to say is, "Oh, he has ties with whoever,"
which is pretty unconstitutional.
Well,
but it is for our protection.
Yeah, and every time you make a law that basically says your rights don't matter as an American person, should have not have been signed.
Shouldn't even been considered.
Exactly. Because for one, I'm sorry, that's why America has its amendments. One, right to freedom of speech, right?
Yeah.
Another one, to bear arms. But if I had a gun and they thought I was a terrorist, I'd be locked up and you would never hear from me again.
Sometimes it wouldn't be that bad.
But, and that's our biggest thing here.
Yeah.
Through social communication, we are able to fight back with these.
Well, the reason why they're feeling threatened is because since our communication is so fast and easy, that we are figuring out things that they don't want us to know.
Exactly. I'm sorry, but I do believe the government is one big mess of greed. It's not even good greed. I mean, I understand good greed. You know, you want something, you go out, you pay for it, and that's good greed, you know, kind of. I don't know how I'm trying to explain it here, I guess. Okay.
To bring your idea to the masses?
Yes.
In a way, like expanding your...
I mean, yeah, kind of. I mean, if someone never built a computer, I couldn't go out and get it. Kind of greed, you know. I want a computer. I'm greeded. That's my greed. I want the computer.
And you want the top of the line.
I want the top of the line. I want the best.
You don't want anybody. You want it.
I don't want the thing that everyone else has. I want the one better.
Right.
And that's my greed. Yeah, too many texts today. Anyway, which ways?
Was that Brian again?
No, that's my wife. But again,
no, so you didn't answer her.
I didn't answer Brian either.
I thought you did.
No.
Oh. Okay.
Anyway, which ways?
I guess he hates them both evenly. I mean, loves them both
evenly. I hate
evenly.
everyone evenly. I guess what I'm getting at is greed is a good thing to a certain extent. It's when you already have enough and you still want more. I mean, there's a...
So you're saying if somebody makes $1 million a month...
If someone made $1 million a month, I think they should be hit over the head.
What if they deserved it?
Deserved it.
It's also your fundamental right as an American.
Yes, you're right.
That
it is a right. But the thing is there are people on the streets dying every day where if they took 100,000 of that $1 million that they made and donated it.
A lot of them do donate, though. But,
yeah.
Like, 2%.
But here's the thing. If I'm making $1 million, I don't need $1 million to live. I'd be happy with 100,000.
Well, you need $1 million to live if you have a house in every country.
Why would I need a house in every country? I can't live in them.
But you probably fly around a lot.
Why would I fly around? And I can't stay in a motel?
Well, why'd you stay in a motel if you have $1 million? If you had that much money and you were flying around, okay. Well,
why would I fly around?
This is more of a philosophical kind of matter, where because you grew up not having or not used to that kind of money, that you would
use it
more
wisely.
Whereas if let's say you were an inheritance of,
I would still try using it wisely. I would.
But that would be hard to.
The thing is,
paradox, because you wouldn't know what you would if you had a different life.
Yes, I would.
Agree to disagree.
No. Okay, but you're kind of right. I guess this is a more physiological question. Physiological? No.
Not physical, philosophical.
Whatever. Any which ways. The thing is,
Two words that sound the same but mean different things.
if you have the money,
So you're saying is spread the wealth.
well, I ain't even saying spread the wealth. Okay, you got a cabinet of, what is it, Republicans and Democrats in the Congress
Right.
that just passed, I don't know how long ago, to get themselves a raise. Okay, most of their,
Even though their approval rating is the lowest that
Yeah.
any Senate sitting in
well,
American history.
okay, besides that fact, even though most of their travel expenses and stuff like that is paid for,
Right.
they gave themselves a raise.
Wouldn't you give yourself a raise?
No. Why?
Well, let's say
If I have enough to make a living and feed my kids every day and get new things every once in a while, I'd be happy.
you would be happy.
Why would I want more? What possibly could more money give me if I had everything I wanted?
But wouldn't you like to drive a better car?
Why?
Well, wouldn't you like to?
No.
You mean there's no...
I like my van.
If somebody gave you, let's say...
See, this is a different story. If someone gave me, I don't have enough money.
Well, let's say you did. Wouldn't you... What would you do with this? Would you...
I'd
Let's say
donate
somebody gave
it.
you $1
Why
million
not?
a month, right? What would you do?
What would I do? I'd buy a house. I'd buy a car.
There it is.
Hold on. Hold on.
If you have a job that pays you $200 million a year, what would you do? You would buy a house, buy a car?
But I wouldn't buy a mansion in every state. I wouldn't buy a car for every mansion. I wouldn't buy a boat for every river
So you're
there
saying
is.
you would donate a lot?
Yes.
Or would you just let it sit in savings, maybe?
Well, I would probably make
Rainy
sure my
day fund?
family is okay. Okay, so I'd buy everything I need, a new house, a new car, make sure there's food on my table, probably start a business, even though I get paid $1 million a month. But
It's something you wanted to.
it's something I wanted to do. But then I would take whatever's left, whatever I don't need, and donate it, yes.
To who?
Well, that's the thing. If
Would
I
you
seen
donate?
some guy on the street, I'd probably give him $100,000 and say, here.
Would that be wise? To
Wise?
give a hobo $100,000?
Maybe not. But how do you know that that ain't the thing he needed to get him out of that rut? He might like living on the street, but now he can buy breakfast every morning. You know?
Or what if he gambles it away?
Then he gambles it away. But at least I tried. You get what I'm saying?
no, I understand
These
what you're
people
saying.
are spending so much on themselves, and they don't care how far we're getting into debt. Let's raise the debt cap.
Do you think that's more of a human issue then?
I think it's a greed issue, yes.
Right.
They're greedy. They want more money because they want better things. I'm content with just being what I got.
Right.
You know, if I can make it with a house, a car, and I don't have to worry about my bills, any extra money I have, yes, would go to donating. What?
You would buy yourself a new computer, all those games you always talk about getting.
But
you can't
here's
afford,
the thing.
Would you buy them?
Probably not. Because how much could I possibly play? You know, if I had my house done, my car done, and all I had to do was work to put food on my table, the rest of the money, yeah, I might spend $1,000 on a new computer. I might spend $10,000 on a new computer.
It's got to be water cooled.
But the thing is where do you stop? I mean, if you have $10 million saved in the bank, what's the point of $10 million in the bank? Hold on, I have to take this.
I told you, should have answered that text.
Yellow. What kind of filming? We just started. Yes. No. Yes, I can. Love you. It should be a little bit. Love ya. Bye. Okay. Hold on, I have to do one thing. Oh, and Brian's drunk.
I mean, he's drunk.
He said he's drunk. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, he's had a beer.
Yeah.
If he's using that line, then why he can't come over?
That's why he can't drive. Okay, so.
I see.
Any which ways, I'll block that out for you, Brian.
Just mention what time of day it is. But I know he
5 o'clock somewhere.
Yeah, that's true. 5 o'clock somewhere.
So, society as a change. We're going through this changes. And it started way back, like the Boston Tea Party.
Yeah.
Okay? It was communicated in a small group. But now you have more technology to help it mass so much more of a movement. I mean, like the Occupation one and Anonymous and stuff like that. It's really changed the way American has done stuff.
I know even America, but
yeah,
other
I mean,
countries
what,
like
Egypt
right now.
And what was the place? They literally shut down anything coming out of it because they wanted to stop all.
I want to say Syria.
Is it Syria?
I don't know if that's true.
But then there was places that, you know, like YouTube had to cancel, take down some videos because of the fact that other places wanted them to take them down. And
well, they also have usually a vested interest in keeping them happy.
Well,
if they're
yes.
taking a few videos down, it's going to keep the country happy.
And I understand that, but there should be a limit of what can and can't be done.
So you want to oppose limits on income?
Well, yeah, why not? I mean, don't get me wrong. If you made a huge invention and you built a big company, yeah, you should get money.
Right.
But nothing against Target, but the CEO of Target had an 80-something% raise.
Does it turn off again? Or is that okay?
So, I mean, why would you need an 80-something% raise?
When you're already making...
When you're already making money. Yeah, I understand. You have to get a new boat. You have to get a new land. I understand. But...
It could... It's probably mostly a stock thing where you base how good a company is doing by how much they're paying.
No, you don't.
Well, a lot of people say, well, the company's doing well. Look at it, they gave their boss a
and most of them aren't doing that well.
Right? Yeah, but
I mean, what? Look at Ford. Ford gave their CEOs how much, and they went straight down.
Well, they weren't the only ones.
Well, no, you're right. But a lot of companies, literally, oh, here's $1 million. Go do whatever you want. You know, it's the simple fact that our society looks at it as money is power.
Well,
so
it is.
Well, no, it's not.
The way our system is set up.
The way our system is set up, it is. You're right. If you can buy it, you have the money to buy it. You have the power. Don't get me wrong. But no, knowledge is power.
Well, that's the way it should be.
Well, it is.
Yeah, if you had the knowledge of how to work the system.
Exactly. The thing is along with knowledge, now you need money. Without the money, your knowledge is basically worthless.
Right.
But with media changes, we can fight against some of this. I mean, everyone knows now that Congress gave themselves a raise. You know, because of the internet.
And we know that with the financial meltdown in 2008, that brought us into this economy.
Okay.
Those banks, you know, that they just basically fell apart, and the CEOs were still getting bonuses. We found that out.
Yeah. And that's another thing. I mean, okay, don't get me wrong. You're the boss of a bank. I understand that too. That's a huge responsibility. Right. I understand you need money.
And they did keep the bank alive even after the turmoil.
I understand this. Should they get a bonus? No. Okay, I'm sorry, if your bank's doing bad and you keep it through No, you shouldn't get a bonus. I'm sorry, you bank.
Well, yes, and I mean, let's say they probably are okay to have a bonus if they keep their company alive from something that wasn't their fault.
Well, there you go.
But the point
I
is
can understand
that
that.
these banks destroyed themselves in a way. You know,
Yes,
the
I mean,
debt
okay.
crisis.
So here's the thing. Okay, a lot of these banks had problems because they gave out loans to people that couldn't do them,
And they knew it.
and they knew they couldn't do them.
Right.
Okay.
But it was making them lots of money.
Yeah, it was making them lots of money. But what happens when you have to foreclose on a house? You don't make much money.
Right.
And if you have to foreclose on 30 houses and you only have 100 houses, that's 30% of your debt right there.
Yeah.
You know, that adds up.
And a lot of them had more debt than assets.
Exactly. So the biggest thing is, and I'm sorry, if you're foreclosing on someone, they don't care about their house. They don't care what it looks like when they leave because it's no longer theirs.
Sure.
So what happens? They have to go back in and fix these places up just so they can sell them to make a profit.
Yeah. It's an interesting business.
Well, I mean, it's stupid. I can understand, okay, people want houses, and I think what the government should do is get in line with these banks and say, you have this much money, okay? This is how much you make every year. We can do this for you and get you into a place. You know, why not? How many abandoned houses are there? How much abandoned land is there? The government can go build a house for someone and say, you owe us this much each year. Okay? That way the government gets the money back and it helps out its people. But will it? No, because we're already in debt.
Well, now that basically what you're saying about the government helping out people.
Well, it helps out the government later.
It could help out actually a lot of people in this country, but it chooses to
go help other countries? Yes.
Yes.
Like, okay, I'm sorry. Again.
The whole world police issue.
Well, it's not even the world police issue. I was always taught, take care of yourself, then help the people around you. Okay? If you ain't stable, if you can't stand on your own two legs, you can't help the person up off the ground.
Well, that's also a...
If you're on ice, and you slip and fall, and someone is on the ice, they can't help you up because most likely they're going to slip and fall.
But don't you think that they're more heroic if they try to help other people while they're down?
What's the point of being heroic when you could hurt both of you?
But the point is, the idea of not thinking what you're doing is heroic, but just doing... Like you said, if you fall, let's say you're walking on a lake, right?
Okay. And you fall through.
And you're walking, another person falls through, and you happen to be on the edge, and you get injured, but you're not in the water, right?
Okay.
Now, wouldn't you want to help the other person, even though you're injured?
Yes. But here's the thing, okay? If it's in my best interest, I'm sorry, self-preservation comes through. If I know I cannot help that person out...
What if this person is your brother or daughter or something?
Well, my brother can just drown.
That's what I'm saying. Let's say you have a vested interest in wanting to keep this other person / entity
But here's the thing. If that person is doing halfway decent on their own,
right?
Okay, and I need to give them a little support, that's different. Okay? If I have to jump in the water and pull him out and myself out, that is a whole nother story. I will try my best to get him out,
right?
As long as it doesn't put me and him in danger. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If it puts both of us in further danger, there's no reason I may jump in there. I'm sorry. I know it sounds like a jackass thing to say, but...
I'm sure you wouldn't be blamed for doing what you would do. A lot of people would...
No, I would try helping the best I could. Don't get me wrong. I would help as much as I could. But there is a point you have to draw a line. Okay, let's talk about Pearl Harbor. Okay, we got bombed. We go over and send nukes, which was stupid, don't get me wrong, but it made our point.
It saved lives, too.
It made our point. It made our point, which stopped the war.
Yes.
Okay, you got this, we got this. We're bigger and badder.
Yeah. We have a higher roar.
So we did that, and then Japan, oh, you shouldn't have did that. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Forgive us for doing it. Don't pay them $60 billion to get it up and running again.
Well, wouldn't you feel bad about what you did?
Yes, I do, and I would help them the best I could.
Reparations.
No.
It's kind of what we're doing with
You come and, well, where's our aspiration for Pearl Harbor?
Right.
What about all our men?
Gotcha.
I mean, they destroyed how many of our men in Pearl Harbor? They sunk how many ships? Don't get me wrong,
Right.
we blasted two towns off the map.
I know what you're saying.
But there's a small difference here. They did it to us, we retaliated, and now we're paying them.
Well, because ours was a bigger political fallout.
I don't care.
And so
We could have went over there and helped them, and we could have spent the money in helping them rebuild, and over time. But no, we spent gone loads of money to help them.
Yeah.
Where we could have easily said, you know what, we're sorry. Here's compensation for what we did.
So you're saying that we gave too much compensation?
Oh yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. Yeah, we devastated their cities. And I'm sorry for that. Well, I'm not, because I didn't do it.
Right.
But it's like if someone comes into my house, kicks down my door, and starts shooting my family, I'm not going to hesitate to kill them.
Would you drop a nuke on their house?
No.
But we did that.
No. Yes and no. But we couldn't just go get the planes that came and bombed us. They were killing themselves anyways.
Right.
So
Well, that's why it drove us to a more drastic...
Exactly. And again, greed and violence kind of did it. But that's the communication part
Right.
there. If we had more communication, things like that wouldn't have happened.
Well, yes, because that's like saying we had the communication now, but it's not stopping the wars.
It does.
But it is.
It does help the wars, though.
But although the current war we were, worried about, we still weren't as communication oriented as we are now.
Well, I mean,
because in 2001, not everybody had broadband.
But here's the thing, okay? Even now, we start a war, okay? Now, what's to be the first thing all over the internet? Oh, we shouldn't be at this war. We shouldn't be doing this. We shouldn't be doing that. 10,000 ideas will flood in,
right,
saying why and how we should have went by this. Where in the old days it was, let's just do it.
But misinformation can filter in through there too.
You're right. You're absolutely right. But
I'm guessing,
what would you rather have? A
more.
well-informed government that sits there and looks and says, hey, all this communication is coming in from the people that we're supposed to be representing.
And that's the one thing that they're showing that they don't care about.
Exactly. And they don't.
Right.
Because, I mean, seriously, I totally believe voting is just one big lie.
Voting?
Voting?
Oh, voting.
Is one big lie. Yes, you get to go vote, but I don't think it really makes a difference. I really don't. Because you might vote to who put in office, but they vote to who puts in office.
Right.
Right? It's our electoral votes that decide in the end. Right?
Right. The electoral college, yes.
Yeah, that's, if I'm not mistaken. That's what decides who we put in presidency, right? Kind of?
Well, what we do is to make it simpler in a way.
How is it simpler?
We have this group of people that say, here's how much we vote, you go over there and tell them. That's how it works.
Yeah, see.
So that way, instead of, 500 million Americans, we only have 100 people coming together.
We have so much information now, we could literally...
Because you know and I know that not every person in this country is knowledgeable about who they should be putting into office.
Oh, so we're letting the person that we put into office, which we aren't knowledgeable about,
what we do
make the decisions
is
for us.
We, as a majority, choose who we choose. We choose who we put into that position to be part of the electoral college.
Yeah, but see, I find that stupid.
But it's like choosing the leader of your group, that kind of thing,
Yes, you're right. We should, but I believe that each town should choose a leader, and each of them.
They do. The county
So
chairman
but what
sheriffs.
I'm getting at is, each town should choose a chairman, our mayor. Whatever.
Mayors,
So that mayor should go be able to choose who they want for the seat in the Senate.
See, but already we're at 2 steps, and I've already thought about corruption in the system. Where
You're
people
right.
with lots of money know that kind of power.
Yes.
Because they will be able to control the money flow and
But
the lives of
the
people.
thing is, they should not be able to get any benefits from being.
So, would you think about imposing a income limit to people who are in these positions, or a background check, or
it ain't even an income limit. Okay, taking what's his name? A couple presidents ago, Bush. Okay, I'm sorry, but if you're going into presidency and you got $10 million behind you already, you shouldn't get any.
Well, the thing is, the presidents actually aren't paid that well in a way.
I don't care.
They're paid like,
but
150,000 maybe.
But what I'm getting at here
so compared to most
is tobacco companies, soda companies, all these other companies shouldn't be able to pay for their campaign policies. Why? Because that's corruption.
But these people, as organizations, are run by people, and they have like you said, they donate.
They donate. Please. That's a big load of lies.
Well, right. They influence.
They influence. Oh, I can give you $1 million to your contribution if you just try to pass a law for me.
Right.
Oh, let's put that law in a law that doesn't make sense.
No, the thing is, it was built that way.
So there could be greed.
There are, in a perfect world, let's say.
In a perfect world.
It should be okay. Like, let's say these laws are just, like saying. But there are.
No, but here's the thing. What I'm talking about is if, let's say the president has 30 shares in a company, he shouldn't be able to pass a law that them shares are double what every other company is made. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If the law encompasses something that benefits them, that law should be null and void.
So you mean like if a vice president were the ex-CEO of a company that was in business to repair destroyed parts of the world, that would be maybe a conflict of interest?
Yes. And I think conflicts of interest should be...
And do you know who I'm talking about?
No.
That was Dick Cheney.
Oh.
He was the CEO of Halliburton, which their company has now changed their name because this got out. Their company goes into places around the world and fixes up places that have been destroyed by civil wars or whatnot.
Okay.
So what happens if you're vice president of a country who goes to war, destroys a country, and Halliburton, which they did, goes into this country to help rebuild because they get millions of dollars from the government.
Stupid. That shouldn't have been able to be done.
But
now, if he was no longer the CEO and had no part of that company anymore,
something tells me he didn't.
That's different.
He probably did have.
I understand he probably did have an investment into that company.
Right.
But what I'm getting at is if he had no stocks, nothing to do with that company, yes, he should be able to still be in office.
Sure.
But let's change that on the flip. Let's say he was still the CEO or still had some ties to the company whatsoever. Then the company should be fined and he should be fined. Do you get what I'm saying? Why should the company be fined? Because.
Should we also look at,
because the company goes, hey, you know what, you should run for office. Here's the money. Go run for office.
Well, it is expensive to run for office.
Why?
Which I think might change in the next couple of decades.
And that's the thing. There's so much media out there that you could get free press.
Yeah.
Get a Twitter account. Get a Facebook account.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I mean, how, you go on there every day, hey, how you doing? Instead of going in front of 20 million cameras saying, oh, I hate you all. Let me lie to you some more. No, give us a personal, I'd rather have someone that I could sit there and track them personally.
In a way, it does make sense because you have to try to get the biggest base you can so that more people vote for you. So you have to kind of appeal to a broader range. And by saying this person's bad, this person's good, the more people you say are bad or not liking to vote for you, because usually you're.
But here's the thing. I want a truth. I want truth behind my politics.
I mean, your goals
I don't want lies.
valid. Yeah.
No, the goals.
No, you mean
my
your
goals
ideas
are. They aren't. I'm sorry. I hate politicians. I truly do. You can put me in jail for all I care, but I hate them. They're stupid.
Well, they're all Harvard graduates. And
I don't care.
So they can't be stupid.
Well, no, they're stupid. I mean, how long do you think the American people are going to stand for you keeping raises to yourselves?
Right. No, but as you said, now it's actually turning around. People are standing up now.
No, and they're trying to stop it though.
Right. But now the government is saying, well, these guys are figuring out our game, how we're running this country.
Exactly, because we have the information. We have the communication between the people.
Right.
And someone slips up, and it's like, bam, all over. Okay? And that's the thing is, like with Dick Cheney, was it?
Yeah.
Oh, he was part of this, and now we're going to war, and they went in and fixed it. Oh. See, and that should be the downside of things here. I understand no one's perfect. I understand that we aren't going to have a president that hasn't done something bad in their life.
Sure.
Everyone does something bad. Everyone makes a mistake. And I'd rather have someone that's made a mistake and fixed it than someone that's made a mistake and's never acknowledged it. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, I made mistakes. I acknowledge my mistakes. That's why I have the life I have. No, I don't want to go into presidency.
Why not? Your ideas could change the world.
Yeah. My ideals could change the world, but who's going to vote for me? I need corporations. Oh, wait, I can't because I may screw them over when I get in there.
Yeah. So they're going to give money to people who are
better than
to destroy you.
Exactly. But then they look at my past. Oh, I've done things in my past. Who cares? Everyone's done things in their past when they were a kid. You tell me you haven't.
But wouldn't you want a president to be an upstanding citizen?
Upstanding citizen. You show me one upstanding citizen.
No, that's the paradox of the situation.
Exactly. I understand. I would like an upstanding citizen. If you ever found one, show me him. And I'll vote for him in presidency.
Yeah.
But the thing is everyone makes mistakes. We're only human. Everyone makes them.
But we're only human. Greed is maybe part of it.
Well, greed is part of it. You can't say that.
So can you...
Greed ain't part of it because there is people that don't have a enormous amount of greed. They get what they need to survive, okay?
Yeah.
And everything else is it. That's it. They only do what they need to survive. They don't go and make $20,000 when they only need $5 to live.
Don't you think they would if they could, though?
No, they don't. I know people who live half-ass backwards that had hundreds of thousands of dollars coming in, and they still lived like they were poor because they had what they had, and that's all they needed.
No, I don't dispute, but do you know anybody?
Yes, I did. My father, for one.
He made $100,000.
Well, no, but he made a whole bunch of money, and he lived like he was poor. He bought used cars. He didn't go out and buy a brand new car. He didn't need one. He bought a car that he could use for a couple years, then he went and got a new one when it broke down. He didn't go out and spend $20,000 on a brand new vehicle.
So you're saying I'm greedy?
No.
Because that's what I
But
did.
that's your first car, right?
Yeah.
You want it to last you how long?
Well, I plan to run it into the ground.
Okay. You don't plan on tomorrow to go out and buy a new one.
Sure.
I mean, if you had a brand new car and you could buy another brand new car, would you go out and buy the other brand new car and sell the one you had?
No.
Exactly. Because you have one.
Sure.
You don't need a new one. You don't need 5 new ones that you ain't going to drive in 10 years.
I don't know, maybe I would.
Well,
No, but
that's what I'm getting at. There's a certain level of greed. I understand this greed is part of us. I'm greedy. I want to bring big screen TV.
Sure.
But I ain't going to take the food out of my kids' mouth to get me a big screen TV.
What if you didn't have to worry about taking food out of your kid's mouth?
Am I taking food out of other people's mouths?
Would that stop you?
Yes.
Every time.
That's what I'm getting at, though. They are taking food out of other people's mouths.
Sure.
Because them having a raise, okay,
Right.
now it's taken away from the government funding they can give to education, or to helping the homeless, or to feeding kids, or to give medical benefits for kids. It's taken away from this. You know, don't get me wrong. I understand they need a little raise. The economy is going bad. Oh, you know, I had to spend $20,000 on an Audi or whatever. Don't
Well,
have.
it's more than that, but
I'm just saying,
yeah.
don't have 10 houses then. Why do you need 10 houses if you aren't going to live in them? Sell the houses off. You have enough money in your pocket.
I can't remember his name, but there was a basketball player who was getting paid certain millions, and when he was doing a new contract, he wanted more money. Like, let's say, I don't know. Anyway, he had at least 10 million, let's just say,
Yeah.
per year. And he wanted more because he wanted to feed his 7 kids. Or, you know, he was like, how am I going to feed my kids? Of course, he had like 7 kids from 7 different women. But,
Well, and I understand that when each woman gets probably $3,000 a month for child support. And
that much?
Huh?
It seems like a lot.
They can get a lot. I mean,
It's probably based on how much you.
it is based on how it's like 50% of your check.
Right.
So if you make $1,000 a month, they give $500 per kid.
Well, if it's you got more than one, if you get, I'm sure it's percentage based. You know?
It is. It's so much per kid.
Right.
So I mean, seriously, you know, half your check for one kid. That's what my brother was paying. Yeah. You know, at $1,000, that's $500 out of your pocket going to your kids.
Yeah, but don't you think it should though?
Yes, it should. But I think they should have stricter rules on that. Well, I mean, like my brother gets away with it because he has back child support. Do the government go after him for back child support? No. Because it costs them more to go after him for back child support.
Sure.
So why should we pay for them to be in prison? They should have things in prison where these people work to produce stuff.
Well, they do. They make license plates, remember?
No, they don't anymore.
I mean, they don't.
No.
What do they do?
They do nothing.
Well, sure,
Most prison is a resort anymore.
No, I wouldn't say a resort. Are you sure about that?
You get 3 meals in a cot.
Well, that's not a resort.
Well, it is to some of these people.
Well, but I thought it's like crappy food, though. I'm sure it's not.
Yeah, no, it's good food. But why not have a garden where the prisoners can grow their own food?
Well, that's a pretty noble idea.
Okay.
But these are tough criminals. They don't want to do savvy work.
Who cares? Then they don't get fed as good food as they could.
That's a good idea.
You don't want to do the work?
But let's say you have a
What?
couple thousand people in a prison.
Okay.
How much land would it take to feed that much, though?
But here's the thing. You got a couple thousand people, and they buy so much land anyways to build the prison on. Okay?
Yeah.
So that extra land's just sitting there not being used. Because they don't want no one around them. Because if they had people around them, then things could be built around them which would defy the point of being a prison. So they have these land that they could use.
That's an interesting idea.
And it ain't only that. I mean, the lesser criminals have put into a lower security facility like a farm that is caged in. And they work on the farm. And then shipped back to the prison at night. And then this farm could be sold to the American people at less of a cost to pay for the prisoner.
Right.
You know, instead of our money going to the prisoners. Because that's what's basically happening. Your taxes are going to keep prisoners in prison.
Well, we don't want them out of society.
No, you're right. We don't. But why not make it so that their hard work keeps them in prison?
But the idea of, instead of keeping these prisoners locked up closely together with other lowlifes, let's say,
Okay.
where they aren't learning any valuable skills, or
But the thing is
where they can contribute and learn.
they can contribute and learn right now.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Now,
I mean,
give them
yeah,
opportunity.
okay, give them schooling. Don't get me wrong. I think everyone should have a chance to change their life around. If I go to prison because I was not well educated, I didn't have no skills, and the only thing I could find to do was steal to make a living, I understand. That's hard. But in prison or in jail, they should offer the ability to change their life.
Well, I'm sure they do.
No.
I'm guessing most don't take it because it's kind of a sign of weakness for your masculinity.
But I understand. I don't think it is, though.
Well, I know that it is not, but I'm just saying when you have a posse of thugs and
But that's what I'm getting at here, though, is if you can give them a chance, you know, say, no, okay, everyone has to participate into an activity. Everyone has to participate in either school or work. Then it ain't going to be a problem. Because what are you to do? Oh, you ain't going to school? Okay, you get put in the hole.
right.
You ain't going to work? You get put in the hole. After how many times of being put in the hole will they come out and say, oh, I want to go to school today?
Right.
You know. And then you got the ones that don't want to make an education. Yeah, they are to not make an education. But then you got the ones that say, I don't like how my life is. I want to change it. You know.
Sure.
Then they can change their life in prison. Yeah, we got way off topic.
Yeah, we did. But it was pretty good, though.
Yeah. My biggest thing is, why would you basically cripple our society? You know, there should be plans that should change how things are done. You know, what I'm getting at?
What you're saying is that we need to redesign the system.
Well, I mean, yeah. It's the simple fact that politics are wrong. Because...
I mean, our politics may be wrong. But
Well,
politics in general could serve some use.
Some use. I mean, don't get me wrong, debate is always good.
Right.
No, but when it comes down to the only thing the debaters are doing is saying, oh, this guy...
Mudslinging?
Yeah. It's stupid. I mean, don't get me wrong. We should have a list of things that these people did wrong, so you can go through and say, oh, yeah, we don't like that guy.
But
Don't give me...
Huh? Isn't that the same thing, though?
Yes and no. There's a difference between you going out and informing yourself and someone informing you of it. I mean,
well, somebody had...
You had a girlfriend, okay?
Okay.
I came along and said, hey, you know what, your girlfriend was cheating on you last night with some guy.
Right.
Or would you rather your girlfriend come and say, you know what, I made a mistake, I was drunk, this guy came up and kissed me, I pushed him away, but he kept on trying, and after a while it just led to one thing to another? Which one would you rather have heard?
Neither.
I'm just saying, which one would you rather have heard, though? Would you rather have been just totally innocent on the ideal? Or would you rather have been able to make an informed decision? and not had to run up to her and say, "Hey, you know what? You cheated on me last night. You're done."
That's a loaded topic.
Well, it's kind of like if you were a sheep, would you screw another sheep?
I know that's a trick question.
It is. Because if you say, yes, I would, then I'd say you're a dirty sheep.
Yeah. It's
And if you
Yeah,
said
that
no,
makes sense.
you'd say, why not? You're a sheep. One sheep doing another sheep, no big deal. See? All questions are loaded, you know.
Yeah. Well, there's many different ways to go about that kind of answer.
And I think that society should change. And communication is the best way of doing it.
Sure. Yeah.
Not Facebook or Twitter or anything like that. I think
Well,
we
those are
literally,
important
they
facets
are,
of our-
they are important. I think we should get a new type of government system where people can input their ideals and the government will look at it. You know.
Well, we do that now. People can write letters to the government
Yeah.
to say, "Hey, I don't like the way you're running things. You should do this instead." Now, most of the time, they just throw it out.
Well, but I think there should be a page where we can go in and see these other ideals.
That's a pretty good idea.
You know, instead of having to write in a letter and say, hey, you know, this is blah, blah, blah. I think there should be a page where we can go in like Facebook and say, hey, look at this person. Oh, this person thinks all this about this.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
have a political Facebook page where Dick Cheney could go in and say, hey, I'm Dick Cheney. And then someone can go in, oh, weren't you the CEO of this company? Why are you going to war? And this company goes and fixes the mistakes we made. Oh, don't you get a profit from that? You know, we could be well informed of these people.
Right. No, you got some good
Maybe
ideas.
we should make a Facebook page for that.
What would you call
Me
it?
and you. I don't know. Political.
Think they'd shut it down?
Would they? They can't.
Sure they can.
No, they cannot.
Facebook could shut it down.
Facebook,
The government could influence Facebook and say, you know what, these guys...
No, they could not.
They could.
Because it wouldn't be like Facebook. We would make it like most of them, but we would change it. Maybe we should do that.
We should.
Make a political analyze page where you can go and talk on a forum about...
I'm sure they have these already, though.
Yeah, but we should make it public. Huge public, like Facebook and Twitter. Where the politicians can go on and...
We call it the forum.
The forum?
Or forum.
60 Minutes? No.
No, it's probably better forum. I mean, you know, a one-word thing like Facebook, Twitter. Like, go on Facebook, Twitter, or forum. You know, you need like a...
But the thing is, yeah, they should have a page where they can just go in and type their agenda and, you know, rebuttal things, or being able to, like, let's say the guy that was cheating, or whatever, he had, like, paid off people.
Which one? Here, I'll do that.
Well, no, he paid off people because he was having sex with them or something, or tried having sex with them, or was flirting with them, and they did a sexual harassment thing, or, God, what's his name?
Was he a Republican candidate?
I don't know. It was a black guy, if I'm not mistaken.
I know what you're talking about.
Any which ways, yeah, okay.
Apparently he was with a lot of girls.
Yeah, and they all
No,
wanted
these
to.
are true. You know, we don't know if these are girls that are paid to speak.
But the thing is, he could come out and say, hey, you know what, this happened, but this is how it really went down from my point of view. You know, at least he could give insight into what happened.
Sure.
Instead of media blowing it out of proportion.
Yeah.
You know what? I think we should...
Well, yeah, we've...
I don't know how long we've been. So, give us a... maybe we should do that. A poll.
A poll?
Yeah, a poll on that.
Okay.
Okay. We're doing a poll.
Well, maybe we'll get 7 votes.
8.
From, you know, our listeners, you know.
Well, there is 8 listeners. There's 14 people on our Facebook.
It's growing.
Yeah.
14
Someone I
people
don't
are
even know.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So any which ways, I'm Heyman.
Dr. J?
I said this
You
wrong.
went
You're supposed to say it first. Go ahead. Go.
I knew you were trying to take over this podcast.
Take it over.
My name goes first.
Okay, go.
And you've been listening to the SciCast, and I hope you enjoyed it. And follow us on our Facebook page or our website.
His Twitter account?
I don't have a Twitter account.
Oh. That's
Yet.
good, because I don't have one.
I thought about starting one, though.
Oh, and I might be starting a blog page.
Are you going to start posting your book?
I wasn't going to post a book. I was actually to start one kind of like the book, where it's a guy, he just went through the apocalypse, and he's going to post blogs to the computer. As he...
It was like a diary?
Yeah, kind of.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's going to do a blog, but it's a be...
He's talking to nobody almost, in a way.
Well, I mean...
If he wasn't after apocalypse, he would just be writing for...
The thing is it's going to be the fact that it's what's keeping him company.
Ah, like the Wilson thing.
Kind of like writing a book or something, of things that are going on through the
Sure.
day.
Have you seen that movie?
No.
Survivor with Tom Hanks? Or
Oh, yeah.
The volleyball? He named
he kind of like that, yeah. But he's a do a blog.
Gotcha.
I mean, seriously, it sounds kind of cool, so...
It wasn't Survivor, it was Castaway. That's what it was called, right?
Castaway, yeah.
Castaway.
So, any which ways...
Yeah. Thanks for watching the SciCast, and tune in next time for when we...
Hopefully have Brian.
Brian.
Ancient Aliens.
I want to do an Ancient Aliens one. We'll eventually, hopefully, get to that. So, yeah. Anyway.